Welcome to issue 1 of Motovision 1998, and what a year it promises to be. Once again, Motovision continues with coverage of USA Supercross and Motocross, along with all World Championship events and classes. We start this year's coverage from Paris Raceway, the traditional USA opening event, staged on January the 3rd. Tortelli joins USA Kawasaki for 2 months prior to his Grand Prix season campaign, while Jeff Emig continues as their #1 USA rider. David Pingree and Scott Sheik are now with FMF Honda under the watchful eye of Bob Moore. Former 500 Grand Prix rider Goat Brecker makes some final track preparations. $10,000 for the winner, but more important is the psychology. No one wants to be beaten so early in the year. Sebastian Tortelli riding number 103, Emig with the number 1 plate. Mike Brown on the Honda of Troy machine, number 100, returning to the States after a disappointing season in Europe. Tortelli's here to make an impression in order to obtain a factory USA contract for 1999. He says he's leaving regardless of his Grand Prix results. Emig, Huffman and Hughes are aware of this, and there's talk of Hughes coming to Europe in '99. Grand Prix team manager Jan de Groot is nervous that Tortelli's 100% commitment could lead to mistakes and leave him struggling for fitness at the start of the Grand Prix season, now just 10 weeks away. Jeff Emig, meanwhile, fulfilled all his ambitions in 1997 and would like a repeat performance in '98. As a pre-season warm-up, the race was set at an unbelievable pace. The track here is designed to provide plenty of opportunities for overtaking, and the final outcome was a win for Tortelli and $10,000 cash. With Tortelli's win, some Americans have got to be thinking that they have another Jean-Michel Bayle on their hands. Bayle, of course, dominating the '91 season, but you couldn't get a more different riding style with Bayle's smoothness as opposed to Tortelli's strength and aggression. The Team Suzuki test track, a facility that all USA teams have, but it's enough to make Grand Prix managers green with envy. Triple world champion Greg Albertine has, as yet, failed to come good in the States. Surely 1998 will be a make-or-break season. Injury has certainly restricted his motocross ambitions. Mikhail Pichon broke his femur in '97 and is hoping '98 will be a better year for him. No one can doubt his ability, supercross or motocross. But like Albertine, Pichon now needs to deliver. Larry Ward switches from Honda of Troy to Suzuki for '98, and he's no stranger to this mark, but the RM250 has not enjoyed the best reputation in '96 or '97, and McGrath's failure last year didn't help. A worry for DaCosta, no doubt. McGrath, the main man. Fans love him. He spends hours signing autographs. His brilliant PR is only surpassed by an outstanding career. But the question is it all over?
Yeah, it was a really tough year for me. You know, I didn't win as much as normally for me, and so it was pretty tough. I struggled throughout the year, and that's why I got a good jump on it this year and signed with Team Yamaha and Chaparral Racing. And you know, we have plenty of time for testing, and next year I'm going to come out winning.
The most dominant rider the sport of supercross has ever seen entered the Coliseum hoping the victorious flame would continue to burn brightly. But Jeremy McGrath would taste the bitterness and frustration of becoming a fallen champion.
And the season is underway for the 250s. It is Jeremy McGrath on the inside, Emig to the outside. McGrath is tied up in turn 1. He has an atrocious start. Oh, Lamson and McGrath went down again. Lamson making the contact in the corner. Greg Albertine to the inside, a bar-to-bar battle into the triple. Albertine has the speed and the momentum. Here comes Henry to the inside. Emig goes down. Ward moves into second place. Greg Albertine, can he gain his first Supercross victory in the United States? Albertine through the timing section takes the checkered flag. What a great first round victory for Greg Albertine for the Los Angeles Coliseum.
Jeff Emig would win round 3 in Phoenix, take the points lead after round 7, and with 5 main event wins, suddenly realize that the dream of a championship can become a reality. Will Emig continue to reign as the king of Supercross? at one of the greatest landmarks in Supercross history, the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. It's the opening of the 1998 AMA Supercross season. Art Ekman, David Bailey, Davey Coombs, and Marty Reed bringing you the action.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
The unforgettable phrase by Mr. Buffer. It's great to have him. The 30-second board is up, and we are set for round number 1.
There's a good look at Emig. You see the tear-offs up there.
What's always interesting about the first round of the year, all the new number changes, and now we're just about set to go. Who will win the $1,500 whole shot award? Sticking the nose out there is number 19, Doug Henry. Henry with
McGrath
and McGrath. McGrath going into second place as they go through the timing section before the finish line jump. So it's Henry, McGrath, Emig.
Albertine right there, last year's winner, followed by Wyndham. All in good position, but Henry starting to pull away a little bit now.
Henry in first place, taking advantage, but Jeremy McGrath in great position. Emig in a battle with Albertine. Albertine went bar to bar and then slips back. Here comes Albie. Number 7 had a tough time there at the end of the whoops. Wyndham in 6th place, David.
He's in pretty good position. There's going to be the fitness is going to play a part. Lapped riders towards the end.
Here comes Jeremy. The crowd anticipating, getting excited. Doug Henry on the 4-stroke Yamaha with McGrath in 2nd, Emig in 3rd, Albie in 4th. Damon Huffman in 5th and Wyndham in 6th. There's Albie right on the back tire of Emig.
This is just unbelievable. That a great start. I would expect that 4-stroke to hook up and get a great start. He did, and wouldn't it be something if Henry picked up where he left off at the end of last year, winning again on that 4-stroke. Pete Steinbrecher, shot of him there with his, keeping his fingers crossed. Jeremy almost.
Here comes McGrath. McGrath in the whoops. They bang a little bar, and Henry regains the lead. You know, Henry told us before, it's a good feeling to go into the season knowing he's going to be totally dedicated to the 4-stroke.
I feel a lot better than last year having to ride 2 different bikes. This year I've spent, you know, ever since actually Houston was the last time I rode a 2-stroke or a 250. So ever since then I've been pretty much just riding 4-strokes and getting used to that. And this year I feel more comfortable probably than I did any other year.
And still, McGrath just knocking on the door. Jeremy McGrath, he knows how to win first rounds. He's won a Supercross record 3 first rounds in his career. No one else has done that.
He's in great position to make it 4.
Albie still in 4th behind Emig. Emig now pulling up. He's getting closer, within 2 seconds of the leader.
He may consider earplugs.
Oh, Jeremy bobbles coming off the finish line jump. Jeff Emig now battling it out for 2nd place. The Kawasaki rider now goes into 2nd, but here comes Jeremy. Jeremy with not quite the power, taking the short turn.
A little bit of a gift there for Emig, but he was close enough to take advantage. That's
Boy,
the name
one
of the
little
game.
mistake this year.
Keep the pressure on, stay close, make your own luck. Emig was there to take advantage.
You know, everybody was wondering, hey, we got Kudrowski retiring, we got Bradshaw retiring, we got Swink retiring. It doesn't matter.
No, there's plenty of talent still out there. Just behind these guys, Huffman, number 15, close enough. You can see him just behind Albertine right there. Huffman, notorious for those late race charges. Doesn't use a lot of energy when he rides. Fitness isn't that big of a deal. The kid's so smooth and sneaky. Oh! A horrible crash right before the finish line. You can see at the top of your screen there. Albertine got out of shape.
Albertine, number 7 getting up, and number 15, Damon Huffman getting up.
Albertine he tried to jump up that step, got out of control, and
We got a 3-way battle for the lead right now. Here's Henry going up the peristyle.
It's Emig and McGrath. Boy, coming through those whoops. They were just very close to one another. Maybe a second and a half dividing the top three. Number 19 on the four-stroke. Can he make it? 2 wins in a row after creating history in Las Vegas with the first four-stroke victory in the history of Supercross. Pichon, number 16 of Team Suzuki, is hounding the Chaparral Yamaha of Jeremy McGrath as they come across the finish line jump.
Jeremy knows if he occupies the best line, doesn't make any mistakes, Pichon's going to have to do something pretty heroic to get his way around.
As Henry crosses the finish line, we've reached the halfway mark. Anything can still happen, believe me. Emig in second place, and look at that! Oh my goodness, Pichon leaps by Jeremy McGrath. Lusk has moved from 16th up to 10th after that horrendous start. So our new leader, or I should say the new lineup, is Henry, Emig, Pichon, McGrath, Wyndham, and Larocco. Do you think it was of great value to have Pichon having to qualify today and got extra laps in on this track?
Well, it certainly didn't hurt from the looks of things now. Sometimes you get a little bit more time on the racetrack. Oh, Pichon goes down. Took an outside line trying to get around Jeff Emig. Stuck the front wheel right into that second jump.
During that action, David, Tortelli, who won the warm-up race at Paris, California last week, passed McGrath for third. As we take a look at Kevin Wyndham and 2 Team Suzuki riders. Larry Ward, number 4, is in 7th place, Albertine in 8th. Now Tortelli's the fastest bike on the track. He's picking up on Emig, and Emig is picking up on Henry. We might have a battle going here. If you can't find Henry, just listen, I guess.
Henry over the finish line again. Opportunities are becoming less and less.
On that last lap, Emig picked up a second on Henry.
Emig knows he's better do something now or it's going to be too late. He's close. He's definitely gotten rid of McGrath. McGrath made a huge mistake a lap ago. Hasn't been able to get it back.
Oh, we got a great race. Henry, number 18, comes off the peristyle. Tortelli, Emig right there battling with Tortelli to the inside. Tortelli now moves into second place. Oh, this is unbelievable. And he's within striking distance of Henry. Tortelli ended up the opening lap going from 15th to 12th place. He has steadily picked off rider by rider. He had some great times in qualifying, and right now, he's in a position to win this race. Should Henry make a mistake? Oh, Tortelli shows the wheel to the inside.
Henry, Tortelli, Emig, McGrath, Pichon, and Wyndham is our order. And Tortelli trying to make a move. Henry using all the track he can, but right on the rear rubber is Tortelli.
Boy, he is fast too. It looks like he's just being held up. Looks like Tortelli is just waiting for the right time to work his way around. They're going to be coming up to the white flag.
Here comes Tortelli and the white flag coming up as he comes around to the finish line jump. The white flag is waving for the Frenchman.
Oh, and Henry goes down just after the finish. Henry leaned too far to the inside, lost his balance in that deep rut. That's how fast it can change. Only a lap to go. That thing is not easy to start. Henry leading this thing. Still about 100 yards from the last lap. What a great ride for Tortelli. I'm gonna have to apologize to this guy for not noticing of what a great ride coming from behind, passing all the country's best, the world's best. He's making a statement here tonight. Number 1 and number 2, shocked probably. So where the heck did he come from? This guy, number 103. Here comes the checkered flag.
The checkered flag for Sebastian Tortelli. Oh my goodness, I don't know how you sing in French. I believe in miracles, but this has just happened for Sebastian Tortelli.
Sebastian, what was going through your mind? You didn't know you won? I just, I have a bad start, and I was trying to catching hard every rider I could, and my mechanic Craig, he turned me, second, and I was thinking I finished second after I passed Doug,
So, I mean, I'm so surprised and so happy about it.
You've now accomplished something that not even your compatriot Jean-Michel Bale did. You've won the opening round of an AMA Supercross series. This must do wonders for your confidence coming to America in 1999.
Oh, sure, you know, I'm so happy to win today, and I was so surprised, you know, about it.
Take a look now at the points, the top 5 as we go to Houston. This would be the order right here with Tortelli, the mere 3-point lead going into that very famous Houston Astrodome, which in itself was an opening round at one time.
Tortelli, Emig right there battling with Tortelli to the inside. Tortelli now moves into second place. Oh, this is unbelievable. And he's within striking distance of Henry. Here comes Tortelli and the white flag coming up as he comes around to the finish line jump. The white flag is waving for the Frenchman.
Oh, and Henry goes down just after the finish. Henry leaned too far to the inside, lost his balance in that deep rut.
The checkered flag for Sebastian Tortelli. Oh, my goodness, I don't know how you sing in French. I believe in miracles, but this has just happened for Sebastian Tortelli.
That was a big surprise for me, you know, I was not expecting it that good, and I was expecting top 5, and I would be happy about it, but winning was, you know, great for me.
Was Tortelli's win a sign of a new era in Supercross? Or will defending champion Jeff Emig respond in one of his very favorite arenas? Will the legendary Jeremy McGrath gain his first victory for his new team? It's all coming up next. 30-second board is up. Who will win the 1-900 Pro Race $1,500 whole shot award? As round 2, the 250s are ready to go.
Goggles are on. There was a shot of DeCoster just over the shoulder of the starter. He's down in the first corner. Hoping to see a lot of yellow in there.
The tension builds. This record crowd in Houston starting to stand on their feet as the board goes sideways. Any moment now. We're off in the Astrodome. Oh, what a pack. Jeff Emig goes to the outside. There's Ezra Lusk, number 3, takes the lead. He'll get the whole shot money. Ryan Hughes, number 10. Jeremy McGrath in 3rd. Emig and McGrath almost collided.
Emig got the better end of that deal. Hughes is up in there. After a horrible first round, I talked to him after practice and said, I feel good. I didn't really do much all week. I'm healthy again. I can at least tie my shoes.
LaRocco, a good start in 6th as we take a look at our leader, Ezra Lusk.
Hughes is in so much pain in LA. Now he's got to look at the lead. See if he can stay there. Lusk has been fast. Pointed out earlier tonight, a lot of people feel like if Lusk gets a good start, keeps it on 2 wheels, he's a sure win. But McGrath is right there. Emig is right there. Wyndham is right behind McGrath. All the good guys have a shot are up front in position.
What a battle for 3rd.
McGrath gets it back.
Jeremy McGrath moves into 3rd.
Well, that's got to feel good to pass Emig like that.
Emig's not going to let him off the hook, though. Emig knows he's got to ride aggressive.
He'll keep the pressure on. This kind of reminds me of what we've seen here in years past. Jeremy, a Kawasaki sandwich between Ryan Hughes and Emig.
Lusk has pulled a 3-second lead on number 10, Ryan Hughes. And then we've got McGrath. Emig. Emig is losing some time. Wyndham is in back of Emig. Then it's LaRocco.
It's a wicked pace right now. Lusk is setting it. There's McGrath's mechanic, Randy Lawrence. Trying to figure out what he needs to put on the board.
For the Henry fans, he's now in 7th place. And Lusk go mistake-free. Look at him bouncing through those whoops.
Ryan's got those whoops dialed in the beginning, and then Jeremy got them dialed at the end. Different lines through the corner. Jeremy's got to try something. He can't follow. Can't pass if you're following. If Ryan were to make a mistake, Jeremy would be caught up in it. They're not losing any time to Lusk. That last lap, they stayed dead even.
You know, the track has held up beautifully, hasn't it?
Love the soil here. Sat and watched practice with Johnny O'Mara, and I said, you liked this place, didn't you? He goes, yeah, I loved it. Soil's perfect.
Our Suzuki Field summary: Ezra Lusk, Ryan Hughes, Jeremy McGrath, Jeff Emig, and Kevin Windham. Our top 5. Jeremy McGrath's new mechanic this year is Randy Lawrence. Davey Coombs is with him now.
Yeah, that was a familiar message you wrote out there, Randy. It says, don't follow.
Yeah, I mean, Rhino's going just fast enough to keep Jeremy behind him right now. And if Jeremy follows him too much, he'll get in that pace. What we're trying to do is get by Rhino so we can look ahead and see Ezra and maybe catch back up to him and make a good race out of this.
That's the same kind of signal we used to see Skip Norfolk put after McGrath, gentlemen.
Randy's a smart kid. I call him a kid because he just seems like a kid to me. He can wear that hair, he can wear those glasses. Quite a character, very creative, a good rider, a good BMX rider, a good downhiller on mountain bikes. Probably a little bit faster on a mini bike than Jeremy McGrath is.
Ryan Hughes is really holding his own here now as Jeremy tries to show him a wheel or two.
Yeah, Randy's a good combo. I've said that before. Jeremy's been lucky to have Skip, and now lucky once again to have somebody like Randy. I'm sure they have a lot of fun together, and Randy knows what to put on that board. He's been out there.
What does Ron Woods have to say, Davey?
Hey, Ron, your guy's having the best night of the year so far for himself.
Yeah, he's riding really good. I'm pretty happy for him. He seems to be pretty comfortable. You know, the back might get a little bit worse as the night goes on, but I think he'll do okay.
Ryan saved the best for last year and taking a second place in the final race of the season, Las Vegas, but he had more bad luck than any one rider I've ever seen. McGrath going wide, still appears to be following Ryan Hughes.
Well, in terms of being behind him still, absolutely, but he is trying everything. Hughes that time, we were watching from the side. He got a little fishtail through the whoops, lost a lot of time, and Jeremy wasn't able to take advantage. But look at this.
Here comes Jeremy McGrath. McGrath moves into second place with a clean move to the inside.
He did that the last lap, but he wasn't close enough entering the section. This time he knew he had to position himself close enough. He's patient and made it stick. Lusk is just amazing through the whoops. He's making most of his time through the whoop section, and in the corner after it, leading up to the triple, he gets out of there like he's shot out of a cannon. Bike's hooking up tonight.
Ezra, it's obvious, isn't feeling the pressure.
Well, if he looks
and
back,
that pressure everybody knows is the fact that Honda was shut out last year from a victory in Supercross for the first time in 15 years.
Well, if he keeps it on two wheels, and the fact of the lead he's got, he could afford to fall down and still pick it up and probably maintain the lead.
Talking with Lusk earlier, he said, you know, I almost didn't want to go to Japan. I didn't want to show my deck, he says, because I knew I was ready. I knew I was ready to do something good.
Yeah.
And he swept Osaka and Tokyo both and opened everybody's eyelids.
There's a couple ways to look at that, and you really don't want to tip your hand as we take a look at the Honda stopwatch. Lusk not even using the rut, going faster through where the whoops are still fresh and bigger. McGrath starting to follow the same line. Watch Hughes through the... See, watch Hughes will get that fishtail in through there sometimes. It slows him down. You go out there where there's no rut. All you got to worry about is the bike bouncing up and down, not side to side.
As we look at all the riders' intervals, Emig has picked up some time. He's trying to make a move and move up a notch.
Lusk, going back to Ezra's success in Japan, there's a couple ways to look at that. You don't want to go over there and show your speed, but on the other hand, you go over there and show your speed and get everyone thinking before they come into that first race. Didn't go the way he wanted. I think this is more what he had in mind. Had he been able to line up where he was supposed to in LA, might have seen more of this.
Windham and Button going at it now.
Button putting in a great ride.
Jimmy Button right in front of Kevin Windham as we look back at the lap time of Ezra Lusk. Incredible. Less than a minute.
Just under a minute, and I bet you those are the same every lap. I haven't seen him make one mistake.
So right now, Ezra Lusk, Jeremy McGrath, Ryan Hughes, Jeff Emig, Mike LaRocco, and it's Jimmy Button in front of Kevin Windham with 6 laps to go.
Emig really close now, putting the pressure on. Lusk continuing to just walk away from these guys. It's amazing. Some of the word I got around the pits, people feeling like Lusk was going to win this thing tonight. Boy, they were right. He's got an 11-second lead.
Davey, how's it going down there?
Well, we've been talking about Jeff Emig all night. I got his mechanic, Dave, over here. Looks like Jeff settled down a lot here in the main event.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty tough track, and
kind of been having a little rough time in the whoops over there all night. So main thing is go out and be consistent. That's what he knows he needs to do to win the series. So, you know, little by little, he doesn't always have to be the fastest guy to smoke. Is consistent.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. We saw Ron Cotta in the 125 class. To me, by far the fastest, and coming away with an awful result.
Jeff Emig saying that he likes to work into a season a little bit slowly, not be careful, make sure he doesn't make any mistakes in the early going. But he's going to have to get more aggressive right now.
Well, the problem is if you talk yourself into riding nice and careful, that's kind of what we saw Larry. Little front end swirl right there, but Larry Ward did that last year. He was in position to win a couple and finish second, and then towards the end, playing it too safe, he started getting in this relaxed pace.
Boy, LaRocco is right there, too. If these two guys could blow it, LaRocco would really be able to take advantage of it.
Going back to the strategy, yes, it's a good strategy for Emig to take it easy and work his way into the season, continue to finish on the podium.
Here comes Emig. Emig picking up points right there.
Well, that was an aggressive move. He knew he had to get it done. He didn't want to bump his teammate. Looks over at him over the jump like, sorry, pal, but man, I had to pass. I want to get Jeremy.
Emig moves into a podium position by that one. Now Ryan Hughes is going to be taken advantage of as LaRocco to the inside, but Ryan Hughes comes back. Oh, fine move by Hughes.
LaRocco's not done.
Where is our leader? Way on the other side of the track. Here comes LaRocco, and he secures the battle for point.
Got the start he needed this week.
And two, it gives him the confidence to say, whoa, look at me, Honda. I'm worth the money you paid me. Because if Ezra Lusk takes his checkered flag, it'll be the first win for Honda since McGrath at the finale at Las Vegas in 1996.
McGrath not off the hook. Emig is close enough. McGrath makes a mistake. Goslar's got to be happy. Huffman going down right after the finish line jump, losing a lot of positions in the final lap. That's what we saw happen to Henry. Can't get the bike started, the same scenario.
Ezra Lusk through the S's. Ezra Lusk could become the 14th rider to win on two different brands. The triple, a salute to the fans. The record number of fans here in Houston are seeing the checkers in the air for Ezra Lusk, who wins his third career victory. Jeremy McGrath staying true in the points race. The picture of Ezra Lusk coming across the finish line to end a tremendous drought for Team Honda. From Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, it's round 3 of the AMA Supercross Series. Jeremy McGrath now moves into the gate. You know, they've done a lot of work between races. Jeremy told us that mentally he's going back to 1993 when all he worried about was getting off that gate first.
I remember back in '93 when I first came onto the 250 scene, my main focus was to get a hole shot, get a good start. The rest of the race, I know how to ride. I mean, I know how to do all that part. The rest of the race will take care of itself. And it's a lot easier when you don't have to deal with the people in the back.
Jeff Emig, a winner last year right here in Phoenix. He just dominated everything last year after Jeremy went down. Didn't dominate things earlier.
They had a hard time coming out of the heat race directly, but again, same thing as Houston's. One thing about Jeff Emig, that guy can't be counted out. He's a good closer. He's always been solid. The longer the day goes on, the longer the season goes on. He gets better.
Emig, Hughes, Albertine, Michael Brown, Larry Ward, Pichon, Lawrence, LaRocco, Heath Voss, Jean-Sebastian Roy from Canada, Kyle Lewis, and Lance Smale. We've got a veteran lineup ready to go. As the board is sideways, it'll drop any minute. $1,500 for the whole shot winner. Oh, look at the charge. Who can it be? Michael Craig, number 13 to the inside. Emig crosses the line first, but Michael Craig gets the lead. So Emig will get the whole shot money. Michael Craig. Here comes Jeremy McGrath, just blazes by Emig. McGrath in second place.
Another super start for Craig. That's what he needed to get. And McGrath did a beautiful job to control the inside of that first corner. Not the greatest start. Very wise through there. And look at it. Got a great look at the lead right now.
Craig, McGrath, Henry, and Emig are battling it out for third. It is Jimmy Button in fourth, Ferry in fifth, Michael Brown in sixth.
If McGrath thinks he's going to win here tonight, he cannot wait. Craig can ride hard enough and keep McGrath back there. McGrath has got to attack, get around him any way he can right now, or it's going to be a long main event for him.
Can I tell you guys something? Right there, great pass by McGrath. Sorry, it was a bad time to cut in. Saw McGrath riding aggressive. Now he's going to run.
Jeremy McGrath takes over the lead from Honda Troy's Michael Craig, I should say. So the Chaparral is out in front.
This is the McGrath of 1996. Get a decent start. If you can't get the whole shot, put yourself in position, attack right away. According to Skip Norfolk, run away and hide and let him race for second.
So concentrating on that very beginning portion of the race is starting to pay off for Jeremy McGrath.
Absolutely.
Michael Craig not letting him off the hook is only 1 second back. Emig in third.
But the thing that McGrath has right now is just enough of a lead so that he can afford to take whatever line he wants. He doesn't have to ride defensive into all the corners.
Look at here. Ezra Lusk is starting to put the challenge to Jeff Emig. Good block pass.
That was exactly what we saw in the practice session earlier. In the second practice, Emig only able to go for the double there. These guys got together, and I think they both felt like psychologically they won a battle. But
Lusk having to make his move this early, though, because McGrath, the way he's pulling it out.
He knows he's got to get up there quick, or it's not going to happen.
There you see Mike Gossler, Lusk's mechanic, putting something down on the board right now. Let's check it out. 52, that's his lap time.
Yep, keep him focused on going fast. Lusk passed Emig in that corner where he made the pass in practice the same exact way. And I thought, I don't know if that's too smart. You're tipping your hand right there. Emig can cover that later on tonight.
With 17 laps to go, let's go to Davey Coombs.
I'll tell you what, I was taking a look at the back of the pack and watch what was happening. And actually, Ryan Hughes fell, but guys, Suzuki's woes continue. Pichon and Albertine and Ward are all like 15th or worse. I don't know what's going on there in the yellow truck, but just a horrible start to the main event here in Tempe.
Number 13 is Michael Craig, Honda of Troy. Ezra Lusk, number 3 from Team Honda, is right behind him. This is the only battle right now.
It will be a battle, too. Lusk is not going to leave him alone. Craig is not easy to pass. McGrath attacked early, perhaps caught him a little bit off guard.
McGrath, Craig, Lusk, and Emig. And right there, Lusk makes the move on Michael Craig.
Same place he got passed by, or the same place he passed Emig, I meant to say. Great place to make the move after the whoops are so tired going to that corner. You tend to relax a little bit, and that's where he attacked.
But does he have the time to make up 5 seconds on a very, very tight Jeremy McGrath as we take another look?
Plenty of time left. Right there, you see nothing Craig could do there to retaliate. Just keep his balance, because he knew that exiting that corner, Lusk would be in the way. Just take his time and ride out there in third.
And here is our leader, Jeremy McGrath. Boy, that testing between races has really paid off for Jeremy, concentrating on the start.
One thing he's doing here that I really like, and I'm seeing a little bit more and more of it in each round, is he's getting on the gas so early out of the corner. See how that, he backs that back in there, and there's not even any hesitation from being off the gas, off the brakes, and back to the throttle again.
As we look at the battle for fourth, David Huffman trying to pick up on Jeff Emig. Well, Jeremy McGrath has said that he's always been happy with the power in the chassis. It's just a little tweaking on the suspension that needed to be done.
Yeah, it seems like he's got that old rhythm back, that snap, or whatever you want to call it, the ability to just hit the smallest bump and get up over anything. He's riding with a lot more confidence than he has, I dare say, in the last 12 months.
I need to get some of that music. Whatever he's listening to, I want to hear some of that.
Randy? Let me ask you something. The guys were talking about, we talked with Jeremy, and he said he was listening to some music before the start of the race, and Bailey wants to know what the tune was, because it's really got him in rhythm.
I don't know exactly what it was. He really likes rap music, like Puff Daddy and the Notorious Big, so I'm sure it was one of them.
Okay, you want to hum a few bars for me?
No, not me.
Can you understand why this guy's got a smile on his face? His rider's well out in front.
He's riding fantastic, too.
Jeff Emig still holding off his teammate Damon Huffman as McGrath just continues to pull a lead. Will we have 3 different winners in the first 3 races of the season? Very similar to last year. 10 laps to go, so we're at the halfway point, David.
Yeah, right now we get a look at Jeff Emig and Damon Huffman riding together. Now, the thing I see happening here is they're going to push themselves up to Mike Craig because I don't know what Mike Craig's shape is like or whatever, but in the past, he seems to have a lapse of concentration toward the end, so maybe if these 2 Kawasaki's start working together, they could reel in some points there by picking up Craig.
I don't think they're going to do anything dumb with each other. The only place I can see that Huffman can make a pass clean would be through the whoops. He is a little bit faster there, not every lap. Sometimes if he stays close, he'll be able to make that move.
Yeah, Emig just barely holding on. Huffman has given him a great challenge.
If Huffman was on a different color motorcycle just then, that would have been a pass. Wouldn't have been pretty.
Check out the lap time, 52.9.
So that's a good lap. That's about what they're running the heat races, but needs to be about a 51. Keep Lusk off of him. All of a sudden, this guy starts catching it. You've got to do something different, pick up the pace, and that is so hard to do.
Let's go down to Marty Reed. Marty.
Well, guys, we're down here waiting for Ezra Lusk to come by. You can see Mike Gosler, his mechanic. He's got the stopwatch running, and it is less than 2.5 seconds. Ezra is closing, and we've still got 5 laps to go. Goose, I know you want to watch your guy, but can you take a moment to tell us what's gotten in him, because he is really closing down here in the last half?
Yeah, I think he's staying pretty consistent. I think Jeremy just made a couple mistakes on the last lap, and he got a little bit of time on him.
You got enough time to win this thing?
We got 5 laps to go. We're going to wait and see.
Okay. He's got a little smile on his face.
He thinks, well, he's got nothing to lose, that's for sure. He's got a mile over third and everything to gain.
I'll tell you one thing that's going to play into Lusk's hands is, remember this, they're lapped up to about the 12th place guy. The next guys in front of them, the guys they're going to lap are Albertine, Ward, Brown, Pichon, Button. Those guys are not going to pull over for anybody. It doesn't matter whether they get the blue flag or not, and that's going to play into Lusk's hands.
Craig still in third, but Emig and Huffman still battling it out for 4th.
Looks like Huffman is just being frustrated right here. I think he's riding a little bit better than Emig. There he goes up the inside. Emig's just going to, well, I thought he was going to let him have it.
Looks like they're dancing out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're just playing around, I think.
Now, believe me, they're trying everything they can, but these kinds of corners and the way you've got to ride and the way the block passing is taking place, I just never liked this kind of layout. I just never did well here, and I think these, especially Emig, he just
I was going to say you're a little prejudiced, though. Jean-Michel Bale loved it.
Yeah, well, there's guys that do, but it just doesn't look like Emig's comfortable out there.
Here we see McGrath coming up on those lap drivers I was telling you about. Now, let's see if...
This might be a big factor, David.
Yeah, I'd like to see, like right here, you can see the 2 Suzukis getting together. Now, I don't think they're going to let McGrath by. Watch this. Lusk is going to pull right up
here. Baby!
See the blue flag waving, but I don't think those guys are paying attention because they're racing for points, too.
That's absolutely right. With 3 laps to go, can Ezra Lusk pick up on Jeremy McGrath? Lusk now is about 6 bike lengths as they go through the whoops.
Whoa, Lusk all out of control, but he wants it bad.
He's hanging on. Ezra Lusk is putting his heart into it.
4 more top lap riders coming up. You see how good it did for Lusk that time. He's going to have Brown, and he's going to have Albertine he's going to lap next.
Oh, adrenaline right now is at an all-time high. The crowd is into it. You can barely hear.
Albertine, number 7. Mike Brown, number 100, as Jeremy McGrath has Ezra Lusk right on his back cover, and Ezra Lusk collides with Jeremy McGrath. The bump and run, that's what you got to expect on this track. Ezra Lusk has taken the lead from Jeremy McGrath. Here comes Jeremy right back in the timing section. Jeremy McGrath, Ezra Lusk. Ezra Lusk is out in front, noses out. Will McGrath put it to him?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, sir. Turnabout's fair play, but Ezra slips it and now has a pretty good clear shot.
McGrath's got to run at the whoops. McGrath's been exiting the whoops fantastic that particular time through. Lusk got a great burst of power. If McGrath can't get any closer than this, he won't be able to do anything. He's got to get right there, take advantage of anything that...
Let's take another look at both of those passes now, and we'll keep you posted verbally.
Well, let's stop the finish line jump. The first one, Lusk. McGrath just left that door a little bit too far open. Lusk went in there. He looks back like, sorry, dude, I had to get in there and make the pass. McGrath right here, across the inside.
That's the white flag lap. Here comes Lusk and Jeremy. Bar to bar. Lusk
trying to get around the lappers. Jeremy bar to bar with Lusk through the timing section. Lusk just barely noses out with good timing and good power.
Now right here, Lusk doesn't know what to do. It's a slow race through every corner because they've got to protect that line.
This is the final lap. Can Ezra Lusk make it 2 in a row? Can Jeremy McGrath win his first race of the season? Becoming only the second rider in Supercross history to make a win on 3 different brands. But Ezra Lusk now has the advantage. Let's check it out as they approach Albertine now.
The last corner is going to be interesting. McGrath's got to get a little closer, but the last corner is wide open.
Ezra Lusk takes the inside line. The checkers for Ezra Lusk. Ezra Lusk winning his 4th career victory. His first ever back-to-back Supercross victory. Oh my goodness. Last year's 2 wins, Orlando and Pontiac separated by a 3rd in St. Louis. Ezra Lusk made the important move, but the lappers became even more important. Lusk, the winner, McGrath 2nd, Craig 3rd, Emig 4th, Huffman 5th. Then it was Wyndham, LaRocco, Hughes, Pashone, and Button. Let's go down to Marty Reed.
Down here with the winner, a very happy 2 times in a row. You realize you've gone from 16th place after round 1. You're now in 3rd place in the points. Nice ride.
Well, thanks a lot. You know, I want to thank the good Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me safe, first of all, and Honda and Dunlop and Fox for getting me out of that starting gate good. And, you know, I don't know what to say. I tried to ride as smooth and as smart as I can. I knew Jeremy was hauling butt in his heat race, and we made a couple little changes, and I just tried to get my flow back. I wasn't flowing very good at all in the heat race, and I was able to catch Jeremy at the end of the race, and we were quite aggressive there at the end, but it was a lot of fun.
Let's move over here as you take the champagne, move over here and get Jeremy McGrath. And Jeremy, I got to tell you, I know you're not real happy with 2nd place, but it was thrilling for all of us to watch, and the fans were literally jumping out of their seats.
Yeah, it was a really good race. Ezra rode a strong race. I mean, the lappers were terrible at this track, and I know he was catching me a little bit, but, you know, towards the end, the lappers weren't moving. They weren't obeying the flags, and you know, I mean, there was a group of them ahead of me and they were battling, but, you know, I was still in the lead and they should have moved, and I think that probably attributed a little bit to my slowness towards the end. But, I mean, overall, I was fast all night. I felt really good, and have to just go get them next week.
Well, the bad news is to you, you know, you finished in 2nd place. The good news is you got the points lead.
Yeah, that's the good part. I haven't had a points lead in the Supercross series in over a year, and I mean, I'm happy about that for sure.
And guys, that could be a frightening thought if we think back 2 years ago.
Absolutely right. As we take a look at the Suzuki point standings, it is McGrath in first place, 4 points ahead of Jeff Emig, 64-60. Ezra Lusk moving up with 55 points into the 3rd place spot as we take a look at the point standings. Hello, everyone, from the Seattle Kingdom. Now that we're into our 4th race coming up into the 98 campaign, those strategies have been somewhat altered.
It's a situation where I do need a win. I mean, you know, we're 3 in. You know, the 4th race is getting ready to happen. But my strategy for this race is to get the start and be gone. It's got 2 what's going to be long whoop sections. You know, that are going to be extremely wetted. So I think to be up front and to really charge, you know, to really ride hard. And if you can only ride hard for 12 laps or 15 laps or whatever the case may be, you know, really try to put down some speed.
I think strategy's out the window. I need a win. I can't be. Last year I came into Seattle in 2nd place in the points, just a couple points out of the lead, and I was looking for a good start and a podium finish. Had a miserable year so far, and the only way to turn it around is with a win.
I would say my biggest thing that I think about when I'm on the starting line is my start. I mean, lately I've been in the top 2, 3, which has been really good. But if you don't get a good start, it takes way more out of you to catch up. Right now, having a win would be really important, and I figure I'm really, really close. So it's going to happen here shortly.
Nothing's changed for me whatsoever. I'm a lot more confident in what I'm doing now. You know, kind of going into the season, you second guess a little bit what you're doing, if it's enough or if it's going to be the right quality, you know. It's not always the quantity, but the quality. And but I know for sure what I'm doing is right. If I keep doing it and keep riding like I am, I'm going to be fine.
Things are getting tense down there, Davey, at the gate.
Yeah, I tell you what, and I see something kind of neat here. The three Kawasaki riders, Huffman, Emig, and Hughes, are all lined up together with the champ sandwiched in the middle. And then to the right of those guys, it's the two Chaparral Yamahas. So 1/4 of the starting gate is this little squad of teams here. And, you know, if they start throwing elbows, someone's going to be mad at the trucks later.
Will Lusk make it 3 in a row. Can McGrath outsmart everyone? And on one of his most effective tracks, he has 5 wins here, 3 250s and 2 125 victories in Seattle. Or will Emig win his first race of the season? Will the 4-stroke of Doug Henry win his first race of the year as well? They're off. Our main event from Seattle, Washington is underway. McGrath number 2. Jeremy cuts to the inside. Emig 1, bar to bar. Number 11, Jimmy Button. Oh, look at Button cut in. The teammates, Jimmy Button takes the lead. Incredible. Another commercial for Chaparral with Jeff Emig right there. Emig feels the need for victory tonight.
Oh, Jeremy coming up a little bit short on that double, but he still maintains second place. Larry Ward squirts into third. Boy, this is what he needed, was a great start.
Oh, will that bring this Washingtonian crowd alive with Larry Ward up in the running? He's had some great runs here in his native land.
There's nothing, no better feeling than to have your best friend or your teammate and friend right behind you and in front of you. This happened with Johnny O'Mara and myself in Honda a number of times in Supercrosses. Getting out first and second in the race, it helps you relax.
Jimmy Button, number 11. What a year he's having. He feels no pressure with Jeremy McGrath and his teammate. They work out together. He feels he can get the knowledge and the experience from McGrath. And look at this, he's leading the race with Jeremy in second place, Larry Ward in third. They're starting to pull away from the 4-stroke of Doug Henry. Jeff Emig, and going down is Ezra Lusk. Lusk went down in the corner before the timing section.
Jeremy will be padding that points lead.
If something should happen to Jeremy, Button would be all clear. That would be his first AMA Series win since '94 at Daytona in a 125 ride.
Now what they have to do is continue to ride like this, just pretend like it's Tuesday, Wednesday, out at the test track, have a good time, relax, build up a big lead, put it out of reach for anybody to catch them late in the race.
As we take a look at a tremendous battle for first place, here's Jeremy McGrath, but Button has the momentum coming back. Brown has moved in front of Emig, pushing Emig back to 6th place. Here's Jeremy McGrath on the run. Jimmy Button, number 11. Button is going to run 125s in the National Outdoors this year, with Jeremy running the 250s for Chaparral. But what a team they've put together.
Jeremy has actually stopped following the lines of Button. He was copying him at first.
Oh, a little fishtail. Jeremy tried to cut it in that time.
Right, Jeremy looks to me like he's getting impatient and he's saying now's the time. He's starting to change up his lines and make a run at him in every corner.
Here they go. Button still holding on by a tire.
They got to be careful not to start to ride defensive with each other and slow each other down.
Button's getting so much good momentum out of the corners, but now if something happens, and look out, Jeremy was far enough away from him to stay out of trouble. McGrath is our leader.
Looks to me like McGrath was content to stay behind Button those first few laps while he was riding so well. As soon as Button started making a few mistakes, that pace started to slow just a little bit, and Jeremy feels faster. Take over the lead and let Button try to follow him all the way to the checkered flag. And Larry Ward saying all year he's been pretty comfortable, just having a little bit of a confidence problem. Whoa, Doug Henry with a great block pass right there. I think caught Larry by surprise.
Yeah, remember I told you guys down the starting line about the Chaparral riders and the Kawasaki riders line up together? Well, right now, Chaparral is 1 and 2. Kawasaki is 6, 7, and 8. So looks like Chaparral got the better start there, and it's carried over way into this main event.
Jeremy told me earlier he likes his position right now, and obviously he's in first place in this race. But before the race started, he liked his position. But this sport is all about confidence in yourself.
Our whole sport has evolved around believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then what do you have? You have nothing. So every one of these guys out here has to believe in themselves quite a bit, because as much as people say it might be a team sport, it's not. It's an individual sport.
Well, it's really frustrating for Lusk right now, I bet, because he knows he's as fast, if not faster, than anybody on the racetrack, but McGrath has been all week. And a little mistake cost him the win when he knows he should be able to go out there and make it 3 for 3.
There's Mike Gassler, his mechanic, looking on. Here's where maturity has to play a part. He's still in a points race, but he's got to make his way up. Here's Ezra Lusk. Got the break he needed.
Gets 2 guys at once. I talked to Stanton in the pits, asked him if he thought overconfidence may be just a little bit of a problem for Lusk after the way he's been riding lately. He said, well, we talked about that. Lusk just wants to take each race as a new one. It's not the guy that's the fastest that always wins. It's the guy that's the smartest. He wanted to get a start in the top 5. A little mistake there. Play is cool, and then let his fitness do the talking towards all the way to the end of the race. He knows he can go on any track they build, no matter how rough and rutted, for 25 laps all out.
Jeremy McGrath, our leader, with Jimmy Button right there. 9 laps to go from the Kingdom. Wyndham, number 8. Number 15 is Huffman. They're way back in the pack.
Wyndham just has to watch. Lusk rode right around him on the outside. Lusk is definitely on the move. He can see up to Brown and then Larry Ward, so it's possible for him to make the podium here, but boy, laps are winding down. It's going to take a lot of effort.
Jeremy McGrath has an 8-second lead on second place as we take a look at number 2. Here comes Larry Ward making a move on Henry. Henry, number 19 on the 4-stroke. Larry Ward on the Team Suzuki. Ward just having a miserable start on the season, but is really hoping right here in Seattle to recapture some. And Larry Ward cuts the inside on Doug Henry.
Great move.
How far can Lusk move up the ladder? The amazing superstar, Jeremy McGrath, is our leader, with Jimmy Button being challenged now by Larry Ward. Henry is falling back. That gives Lusk a chance. Lusk is fighting for points right now. He might not be able to catch the leader unless something happens. Here comes Ezra Lusk, making an easy pass to the inside. And Henry, now for the 4th race in a row, has faded.
Still putting in a pretty decent ride, though. He went hard in the beginning, moved up to the front. Maybe a little bit like McCormick in the 125 class. Tried a lot early on, maybe burn himself out. The next time Larry Ward looks over his shoulder, if he does, he's going to see that red number 3 coming. That'll change, put a whole different paint job on.
Here comes Larry Ward. Button tries to close the door on him. Ward to the inside. Through the rhythm section. Jimmy Button holding his own. So far hasn't made the big mistake. Larry Ward jamming at that time. And Ezra Lusk is on the come.
I know Ward wants to get second, but he's got to be happy with a podium finish here tonight. And if he's going to get a podium, Lusk gaining the way he is, he's got to get around.
Ward brings the crowd alive. But Button has him in the corner. Good positioning by Jimmy Button. Button able to use the track.
Yeah, he did a perfect job right there to maintain his line.
Here comes Lusk. Lusk making a move on Larry Ward. The fans are disappointed. They want their Washington native to hold on. But Ezra Lusk is now threatening to bump rubber.
Well, that was a big move for Button back there to hold Larry Ward off. If he hadn't have done that, this would be him right here trying to hold off Lusk. Instead, he's got about a 25-yard lead back to those guys now. A little breathing room.
This says a lot for Jimmy Button, that's for sure. As Ezra Lusk and Larry Ward battle for the final podium spot. With Jeremy McGrath, 2 laps to go. Our leader overwhelmingly out in front. Ezra Lusk to the inside. Will he hold on to the podium spot with Larry Ward on the attack? Doug Henry is behind Ward.
This is an unbelievable ride for Lusk. I don't know how far back he dropped. I lost count, but he was way back 10th or worse. And Jeremy elevates his teammates, the people around him. Button's the beneficiary of that. Last year, he elevated the Suzuki team. Now he's doing it to Button.
Team Hondas. Ezra Lusk trying to make a move on the Chaparral. The Chaparral Yamaha of Jimmy Button. Larry Ward still holding on behind Lusk, trying to hold off Henry. Oh, Button's done it. fantastic job.
Did a good job right there to take just the right line and take away the options from Lusk. He couldn't go in there and slam the door. Coming up, there's a section. This is where Lusk has been fast.
Ezra Lusk into second place. Incredible. Can Jimmy Button-No hold on to the podium spot?
And now he's got Larry Ward knocking on the door. They got about a quarter of a lap to go.
The checkers for Jeremy. So it ends up Jeremy McGrath, Ezra Lusk, and Doug Henry on the podium, with Larry Ward and Damon Huffman rounding out the top 5. Jimmy Button holding on to 6th place. Davey Coombs.
Just chaos on that last lap, but not for you, man. Congratulations, a great ride for you and Chaparral Yamaha.
Yeah, thanks a lot. My Chaparral Yamaha 800 Collect Bridgestone tire bike was working excellent, you know. I mean, I got a really good start. My teammate was out front. He made a little mistake. I got by him, and I just kind of tried to ride a really clean race and ended up gapping those guys by about 7 seconds.
Yeah, I know we asked you this question a few times last year. I'm going to ask you it again for the first time this year. Is Jeremy McGrath back?
Well, you know, I think so, for sure. I mean, the first race I got third, the second race I got second. Third race I got second, it was a close second, and this time came out swinging. So I'm really happy to be up here, and, you know, winning the first time for the year, it's excellent. I mean, I feel like I belong here.
This guy rode a really hard race. Yogi, you came from so far back, I don't even know where you started, but congratulations on second.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I knew I had to be strong and put in great laps all the way until the end, and that's what I did, and I was able to come up to second. And I want to thank Honda and Fox and Dunlop and good Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me safe.
Do you think if you hadn't had that early fall, you could have gotten up there with Jeremy?
I think it would have been a great race again, you know. I felt great out there, and I could see Jeremy inching away when I was coming up through the pack, and there's nothing I could do, you know. I wasn't too far back, and then Emig pulled an amateur move out there and took me out. But, you know, that's the kind of guy he is, and you just got to be looking out for it. So I'll be looking out for it.
Our main event from Seattle, Washington is underway. McGrath number 2. Jeremy cuts to the inside. Emig, 1, bar to bar. Number 11, Jimmy Button. Oh, look at Button cut in. The teammate, Jimmy Button, takes the lead. Incredible. And going down is Ezra Lusk. Lusk went down in the corner before the timing section. Button's getting so much good momentum out of the corners, but now if something happens, and look out, Jeremy was far enough away from him to stay out of trouble. McGrath is our leader. Ezra Lusk to the inside. Will he hold on to the podium spot with Larry Ward on the attack?
Coming up, there's a section. This is where Lusk has been fast.
Ezra Lusk into second place. Incredible. Can Jimmy Button-No hold on to the podium spot? The checkers for Jeremy. Tonight, AMA Supercross returns to this usually sunny Southern California paradise, San Diego, California, for round 5 of the 98 Supercross Series. Jeremy McGrath is having fun again. Ezra Lusk. Jeremy says that Ezra is the only guy that he doesn't have covered in this field.
My reaction to Jeff's race last weekend was as, you know, different as anyone's. I mean, I was really surprised and couldn't understand it, and especially after I heard that he hadn't fallen down. So, I mean, maybe he just had he wasn't thinking clearly, had a bad race. You know, we can all have those, and I mean, the fastest guy, the guy right now is not Jeff Emig. I mean, he's the #1 guy, and he's the, the guy that's a champion from last year. But Ezra seems to be the guy to gun for right now.
I'd have to agree. I mean, I feel like I got the strongest bike and the strongest physical fitness, and mentally I just feel wonderful. I mean, I feel like I can come from anywhere and finish wherever, you know, unless Jeremy obviously gets a start like he did last week. But you know, Jeremy's a great champion, and I look forward to a lot of battles with him in the future. And I'm sure all this whole deal is going to come down to me and Jeremy, because he's been riding the best, and he's a guy that that I'm looking at right now.
Mike Gosler, his mechanic, putting the goggles on. The excitement starts to build. Jeff Emig needing a win to get back into the title chase. 52,007 fans here in San Diego. And the sign is sideways. Look out. Who will get the break here at the start? Jeremy McGrath gets a great start in front of Lusk. Jeremy McGrath with another great start. Number 19, Doug Henry, though, is right there on the four-stroke.
Lawrence going down to the first corner, also collecting Damon Huffman and Tortelli. So those guys all the way at the back of the pack. McGrath, so clever through that first corner. Not only did he get there first, but he went around the corner. Beautiful, squirted off that little tabletop to make sure he had a good run at the triple.
Ezra Lusk in 5th spot, not that far back. We could still have a great challenge later in the race. McGrath. And then Henry on the four-stroke with Wyndham right on Henry's tail. Then it's Greg Albertine and Ezra Lusk.
Wyndham was right there, staying pretty even with McGrath.
Cutting inside, Kevin Wyndham.
Good place for the move. Caught his teammate a little bit off guard right there, set up for the triple, went right in there and took it away. Now, just like in the heat race, Wyndham second to McGrath. This time we'll see with the amount of laps they got to cover this time if he can catch it.
Kevin Wyndham making some breakthroughs right now, and here's a switch now back. Doug Henry makes the move on his Team Yamaha teammate.
Lusk blitzing through those whoops, getting by Albertine, staying in contact with the leaders. He's got to move with the two Yamaha teammates, because McGrath is getting away.
Ezra Lusk has proved he can come from a long way back. He did it at Sun Devil Stadium to beat Jeremy McGrath. But he had too far to come back last week in the Seattle Kingdom. Incredible, though, what he did was he got a second-place finish. Ezra Lusk trying to make up the space. Jeremy McGrath now has not let up. He knows he's got the charge.
Well, McGrath is able to jump this triple every lap as Lusk just went for it as well. You've got to go wide to do it, and he's got enough room to go out there and take that line.
Henry losing ground to McGrath. You notice Henry tried the triple, but Wyndham did not.
Well, it's
Jimmy Button making a move.
It's a little faster in one place and a little slower in another. You've got to go wide in the corner before. I think it comes out perhaps maybe the same in the end.
Watch these two. Albertine not having a good season at all. Jimmy Button, who has all of a sudden gained a lot of confidence from his appearance last weekend at the Kingdom.
And that was smart right there. Button was all set up to square him off and get the inside into the corner, and Albertine just put on the brakes, left him no room.
A 4.5-second lead for Jeremy McGrath out in front. As we take a look at Button, makes the move on Albertine. Jimmy Button now moves into 4th place behind Ezra Lusk.
Everybody's been able to make that pass. Every time the guy goes wide in front of them, they just head across the inside, take it over. Oh, Albertine left that front end drop just a little bit too much going to the corner, just at 6 inches too low. It caused him to go over the bars. So I think what's happening now is these guys are all riding great. There's not really much you can do to change position. You just have to wait for a mistake, keep the pressure on, and hope the guy in front of you messes up.
Ezra Lusk is going to start feeling some heat from behind from number 11, Jimmy Button, pretty soon. As we take a look at the second and third place riders.
What happened?
Lusk.
Kevin Wyndham came around and clipped one of those tough boxes, and it got stuck in Ezra Lusk's front tire as he was approaching the triple. It's locking up the front wheel right now. What a bad break for Lusk.
Ezra Lusk
You know what, Art? This could be no points for Ezra Lusk. This could drop him out of the race. I don't know how he's going to get that out of there. It's just completely wrapped in the wheel.
So a very bad break is now one of the track workers coming to help try to rip it out of there.
Yeah, you can see the reaction by Mike Gosselar. It's just Lusk approaching the triple. It flipped out in front of him. Now Jeremy's going to come around. He got it free and it's just taken off. McGrath is going to come around and see that big black number 3 just ahead of him and wonder what the heck happened, and notice that's a big boost in the points.
Ezra Lusk, 12 laps to go, and he's in 20th place.
That's 1 point.
San Diego, California with 11 laps to go. Here comes Jimmy Button making the pass. Oh my goodness, he made the pass on Wyndham and blitzes through the whoops. Jimmy Button really showing us some talent on that Chaparral Yamaha.
Boy, how's that for confidence? Just blow by those guys and just completely demoralize them. Jimmy Button, who's got a boost of confidence from last week, obviously, just rode right through these guys. Now they're going to be on the podium together, he and his teammate.
The last time Jeremy McGrath came and going down right in front of us now. It is Doug Henry. Another bad break, another good break for McGrath.
Well, Henry's going to lose about 5 spots in that. Now it's Dyson with Tortelli. McGrath is way out front. You can see it in...
Tortelli down.
Yeah, more problems. He went down early, got connected in the first corner with Huffman and Phil Lawrence having to come from way behind. And out of the points now, I don't see he's going to make a big run for the lead here at the end.
About a 7-second lead for Jeremy McGrath.
Larry Ward trying different lines, everything he can do. Oh, Ryan getting sideways. If Ward had been a little closer, he could have high-sided right off his back tire.
6 laps to go. Larry Ward trying to make it now.
3 wide off the triple. That gets a little tight.
And of course, Ward, getting that 4th place in Seattle, was running in a podium spot many, many laps.
I was about to say that it's a little dangerous for Ward to try to go out and take any chances, take any different lines to find his way around Rhino, because LaRocco could sneak in there and do it.
Here's LaRocco. Just as you thought about it. Scraping machines. LaRocco and Ryan Hughes with Larry Ward trying to be the opportunist behind them. Rhino holding true. He's a tough rider. 5 laps to go. Jeremy McGrath with it in the bag, it looks like. Of course, we said that in Seattle a few years ago when he got a flat tire. Jimmy Button in 2nd place, his teammate. And Kevin Wyndham looking for his first podium of the year. Hughes in 4th with LaRocco, Ward, and Pichon the order. Larry Ward to the inside on Mike LaRocco. Everyone else has had a double-digit finish so far this season. Ward, number 4. Oh, look at this battle between these 3. That's incredible.
Trying for the block pass and got past. These guys are just glued together. One mistake can cost you a couple positions.
Oh, this has got to be fun. Hughes and LaRocco.
McGrath turning 51-second lap times consistently. Hasn't flinched.
LaRocco, of course, his sponsors Jack in the Box right here. Their hometown is San Diego. He's putting on quite a show. Let's go down to Marty Reed.
Couple of quick points. First, Ryan Hughes, you're dead spot on, guys. He said right before this race, I said, how you feeling? He says, excellent. He says, I'm 100%. Secondly, Suzuki, one of the things that Jimmy Button, and we've talked about before, and all the Yamaha guys have been training together. Not so with the Suzuki crew. Everybody's sort of been training on their own, and it may be one of the factors why Suzuki has not been running up front.
Mikel Pichon, he's right behind Hughes and Ward. LaRocco making the move, Ward making the move, and there's Pichon. 3 riders getting by.
Tortelli has gone down again, and Lusk has actually been able to climb a little further into the field than I thought, so he's gaining valuable points that can really mean a big difference at the final round.
Jeremy McGrath looking for his 5th straight win here in San Diego, and that's not counting 125s. 1 lap to go. Jeremy McGrath with the white flag as Button goes by.
He might show San Diego a knack-knack over here on this final triple. He was a huge favorite when he rolled out for the opening ceremonies, and he's given the crowd what they came to see.
McGrath, Button, Wyndham, LaRocco.
Boy, this is going to feel good. In Button's mind, it very possibly could have been 2 podiums in a row, but it feels good to get on it at least once. Teammates, first and second.
Jeremy McGrath taking plenty of time, teasing the crowd. Jeremy McGrath, his 47th career victory.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, look at the smiles down here. They were talking about a shirt they saw that said, Mac is back and the streak starts here, 2 in a row.
Yeah, I'm really happy. My Chaparral Yamaha is working really good. My Bridgestone tires, you know, it's been a long time since I've had confidence like I do now, and I'm afraid it's gonna have to snowball from here.
So is the season over? Should we just stop running these races?
No, we can't count our chickens yet until they hatch, but you know, I'm feeling really good. I'm extremely excited for our team. You know, my teammate Jimmy Button up here comes in second, and you know, if we can keep going 1-2 sweep, we'll be on heaven.
This is the best finish by Team Chaparral ever. Let me bring Jimmy in here. All the frustration of last week, we talked about in the heat race that you made it a positive, and man, it paid dividends.
Yeah, for sure. You know, last week I could have gotten really, down on myself for the mistakes I made, but I turned it into a positive, a learning note. So, it just showed today. I got a really bad start in the main, but I just kept going forward. I saw Jeremy up front. I knew my lap times were about the same as his, so I just kept going, and I got everybody, and only one guy didn't get, but that's all right. We'll take second place for tonight.
What's this girl said, take a ride into this century and use your eyes for its social supplies. Get a laugh and get it moving, make some history, don't stay struck down, cast your mind to the clouds. 'Cause it's a roller coaster ride into expression where your dreams collide in the purple soul skies. Spread the ticket, make some moves towards insanity. Enjoy the view, 'cause your life's up to you, and you know how to make it. You never really need to fake it. Always knowing where there's a place for it. I can't see where you need to be, and if you run all night, you could be there soon. Don't need the direction, it's up to you. Take some perseverance by your side. You'll get high above the world tonight. High above the world tonight. High above the world tonight. She continued, wrapped her lips around a cigarette and made me think, made me catch my grip. Take them out, but don't look back, because the vertigo can drag you down, magnetize you without a sound. Keep your smile and keep your faith and keep your honesty and your thoughts inside and your darkest things hide. Don't be frightened by the system if it stares at you, just walk on by.
Hi, my name is Mike Webb, and I'm the manager for Team Suzuki Off-Road America.
Keep yourself in the sky, guys, you know how to make it.
I got a chance to watch Paul at the 6 days that year, and I think he set fast time in just about every special test there was.
You never really need to fake it. Always knowing where there's a place for it.
I remembered him from that point on. His technique, his style, his ability on a motorcycle was something that that left an impression in my mind.
I can't see where you need to be, and if you run
first race was pretty interesting. He made some mistakes, some rules that he wasn't aware of, but he's a quick learner, quick enough that he actually won the second race he entered for my team. And I knew right there that I had done the right thing and that good things were to happen.
For an off-road rider, I think it's his dream as well as anyone else to come to America and race. You know, obviously a lot of people in Europe wondered why I was doing it and the big reasons. You know, a lot of people thought it was for financial reasons. I mean, I can tell you now that it was basically for a new challenge. You know, if you race somewhere for 10 years, you get a little bit tired, and like I say, it was time to move on.
Dirt Bike Rider magazine is Britain's best-selling off-road motorcycle magazine, packed with all the top race reports, the best colour photography and in-depth valuations on all the latest machinery. Dirt Bike Rider is a must for any off-road enthusiast. On sale on the third Friday of every month, Dirt Bike Rider is available from your newsagent or delivered direct to your door for no extra cost on subscription. Dirt Bike Rider is also the official UK distributor for all Motovision 1998 productions. For 1998's monthly video magazine, US Supercross and Outdoor National Rounds, all the season's review tapes and subscriptions, contact Dirt Bike Rider magazine at this address.
Here comes Jeremy McGrath, just blazes by Emmy. McGrath is our leader. The white flag lap for Jeremy McGrath. The checkers for Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm really happy. My Chaparral Yamaha is working really good. It's been a long time since I've had confidence like I do now, and I'm afraid it's going to have to snowball from here.